and I call this the credit expansion phase. What's up, everyone? This is Lou, and this is Journey to Millionaire Week 12. We're here to make wealth accessible to the rest of the world, so let's get started. In today's video, we talk about the 5 levels of credit and how to get the perfect credit score. So level 1 starts with a very poor credit score, and that ranges from 300 to 579. So if your credit score falls within this range, this is what I call the protection phase. So it's a must you take calculated steps to improve your financial situation. So tip number 1, check your credit reports regularly. And you can start by getting your free credit reports from annualcreditreport.com. Just check the link in the description below. Once you get your 3 credit reports, start correcting any inaccuracies or anything that's hurting your credit profile. Tip number 2, which is the most important step at any phase, is focusing on timely payments, especially at this level. If you want to know more about how late payments destroys your credit, then check out my ebook in the description below. So the best thing to do is set up automatic payments for all of your bills at this phase. Level 2 is your fair credit score, which ranges from 580 to 669. In this phase, you're in the repair mode. Your credit may be improving, but it's still a lot of work to do. So tip number 1 for this phase is lowering your credit card balances. A high credit card balance will negatively impact your score, no matter if you move inaccuracies or not. Tip number 2, avoid applying for any new credit at this level. Any application for new credit results in a hard inquiry, which accounts for 10% of your total credit profile. So you really want to only apply when it's necessary, and you want to focus on improving the current accounts that you have. Level 3, a good credit score. A good credit score ranges from 670 to 739. So with the good credit score, you can be approved for credit cards or loans. But this is still considered the rebuilding phase. So let's build. So tip number 1, you want to continue to maintain those low balances. You want to start paying your balances in full each month every time you use your credit. This will help you with interest charges and keep that utilization healthy. So tip number 2, it's time to diversify your credit mix. So adding a credit mix will raise your score a lot faster once you start applying for new credit cards. But just make sure you diversify, because you don't want to apply for credit for one bank. Once a bank seizes, they'll use that to their advantage, and they won't give you a higher limit like they supposed to. So diversify and keep them wanting to deal with you and not the other way around. They'll respect you more when you do that. Level 4, very good credit. Very good credit ranges from a 740 to a 799. You're almost at the top, and your credit is pretty solid at this level. So now it's about maintaining and fine-tuning your credit profile. And I call this the credit expansion phase. So now it's time to get the maximum credit limits for all of your credit cards and your loans. Because it's better to use 10% of a $50,000 credit card versus a $5,000 credit card. Because at this level, you want to keep your utilization at 10%. So you can only use 10% of that card at any time. Or just make sure you pay it down to 10% before the statement date comes. So tip number 1, you want to be monitoring your credit scores at all times. We plan on using our credit after we get it up to the proper score. So keep that in mind. And this is also where the credit fraud is risky. So this is why you want to keep the credit monitoring, because it'll track all of that. Tip number 2, it's time to start negotiating better terms, because with very good credit, now you have leverage. And this is your first taste of true wealth. So start negotiating better terms on your current loans, your credit cards, everything. This will save you a ton of money in the future. So let's talk about number 5, excellent credit. And this is from 800 to 850. And congratulations, you just reached the elite level, or I like to call it the investor phase. So maintaining an excellent credit score is all about keeping good habits and making strategic decisions. So you want to start investing in your net worth and buying assets. So tip number 1, continue to practice your good habits, but know that things are different now, so you have to move different. So look at timely payments differently. Look at credit utilization differently. Look at credit monitoring differently. I call these wealth habits because you're in a different league right now. Tip number 2, you want to maximize your rewards and all of your cards. With the excellent score, You unlock all of the credit cards and the best loan offers, so use that to your advantage. Take advantage of rewards programs. Take advantage of your rewards programs, cashback offers, and a ton of other things from being in the elite status. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you like and support the channel by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to check out my new ebook in the description. See y'all next week.